For a long time, I didn't realize that grief didn't just break my heart, it broke my trust in myself. But not all at once. It did it quietly, slowly. And I didn't even really notice it happening until one day I realized I was second guessing myself about everything. Today, I want to talk about what it means to lose trust in yourself after loss and what it looks like to slowly rebuild it. Because learning to trust yourself again after loss is something that people don't really talk about when they're talking about grief. Hi, I'm Kara, and welcome to this new chapter. This is a space where we talk honestly about grief, healing, and what it means to rebuild your life after loss. If you've been here for a while, you know I've been talking about things like showing up in difficult seasons, caring deeply, and learning what we can carry and what we need to put down. This video feels like the next layer of that conversation. Because one of the things that grief can quietly take away is your trust in yourself. When people talk about self-trust, I think a lot of times they're talking about confidence, right? But that's not really what I'm talking about today. Losing trust in yourself doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like second guessing every decision, replaying conversations over and over in your head, asking everyone else what they think before checking in with yourself. Ignoring your instincts because your mind is just so loud with grief. It can be debilitating and even isolating. At least it was for me. Little decisions can be tough and big decisions can seem insurmountable. After loss, your internal compass can feel unreliable. But honestly, that makes sense, right? Like loss just completely knocks you off your footing. For me, losing Tony compounded something that was already there, self-doubt. When something tragic happens, your mind starts searching for answers. It's natural. You start asking questions like, how did I not see that coming? Why didn't I know? What could I have done differently? For me, it was, could I have done more? And those thoughts can knock around in your mind for a really long time. And over time, they start to erode your ability to trust in yourself. It's a scary place to be, I think. You're navigating probably one of the worst moments of your life, and you still have to search for that something that you've lost, that trust in yourself. Loss also teaches us a painful lesson in that life can change in an instant. And if we're not gentle with ourselves, that lesson can kind of turn inward. And you may start believing that you should have known better, you can't trust your own judgment. If you relax, something bad's gonna happen. For me, that showed up as hypervigilance. I was always scanning, always bracing, tight, always preparing for the other shoe to drop. Something bad was gonna happen. It was just a matter of time. For me, a lot of that goes back to childhood, and I know I've talked about that a little bit in previous videos. Losing Tony intensified all that. And that was a scary place to be for a really long time. But here's something I've been learning. It's That's not intuition, that's fear. Fear is loud and urgent. Intuition is quieter. Fear says, something's wrong. Protect yourself. Intuition asks, what do I need to do right now? And learning to trust yourself again means learning to tell the difference between the two. For me, rebuilding self-trust didn't happen through any kind of major, big decisions. It just happened to, through small ones, like listening to my body when my body said enough, honoring discomfort instead of trying to explain it away, choosing rest without feeling like I had to justify it. That's big. And something else that I've been still working on is walking away when a situation is misaligned. And I think that's a hard one, because that walking away can really seem like another loss, right? But once I started making small decisions and nothing bad happened, then I started regaining that trust in myself. After loss, it's easy to confuse familiarity with safety. You may stay in a situation longer than you should. That goes back to that same conversation about misalignment and staying in situations that you're not meant to be in. It also means, not picking up things that aren't yours. For me, learning to trust myself again meant understanding that discomfort is information. Clarity doesn't require permission. And walking away doesn't mean failure. Walking away does not mean failure. Sometimes self-trust can, look like choosing peace. Today, trusting myself doesn't mean I'm never unsure. I'm unsure a lot. But that's human, right? What's different now is that I can pause instead of panic, listen before I react, and try not to abandon myself to make things easier for someone else. I'm gonna repeat that. I try not to abandon myself just to make things easier for someone else. Trust isn't certainty, but it's a relationship with yourself. If you've lost trust in yourself after grief or any major life change, you're not broken. Trust can be rebuilt, not by force, but by presence, by showing up for yourself, one honest choice at a time. And if you're navigating something like that right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. That's what this new chapter is about. Thank you for spending this time with me, and let's continue this conversation in the comments. I'll see you in the next chapter.